What's going on, YouTube? Welcome. I'm going to say welcome back to the channel, but this is a new one, new channel, something that I'm incredibly excited about and nervous as well, to be honest. Now, you may know me from my business or my coaching channel, Josh Lancaster J2, where I help educate men specifically around hybrid training, how to do it properly without burning out, getting in great shape, performing like athletes. Now, this channel is not that. So I'm not going to be talking about any of that. So if you want that, please use the links in the channel or something, or search it and go find that, because it's great. But this is not that. This is going to be a channel about me and my life and yeah, everything that's going on from there as well, because it's been something that I've been wanting to dive into for a while now. And on my business channel, I did do some vlogs. I did start doing some vlogging, but it fell off. And I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person to allow things to fall off. So here we are, we're going again, but we've got a new channel. And I'm doing it this time out of a place of want rather than need. I've spent a lot of time reflecting recently about me, my life, where things have been heading, my business, and become quite clear to me that I've been doing a lot of things in my life based on need and scarcity rather than want and abundance. And I'm doing this right now because I want to do it. I had a really good chat with a friend of mine, Alfie, the other day, one of my best friends, and he's also a client of mine as well. And we were speaking about business, speaking about life and all of these things. And he just said, you know, Josh, bro, he always calls me bro, I'm only here right now because of you, because I like you. And I'm going to speak about me a little bit, about me, about the business, about everything about what's going to come in this channel in due course. But I'm here because of you, not your training systems, not your nutrition, I'm here because of you, and I like you and I enjoy you and your friendship. And it really got me thinking that that's why all clients come to me. You know, it's why I build relationships with people. It's because people like me for me, and I'm not showing that enough in what I'm doing in my life at the moment. And I'm not one to try do it on short form, because I think it's very transactional, where if you don't get somebody's attention in 3 seconds, they've gone already. Whereas this can be a lot more laid back, can be a lot more relaxed, it can be longer form. So if you want to stick around, stick around. If you don't, you don't, that's fine as well. But that's my mindset with it. If you want to be here, stay. If you don't, don't. But if you don't know much about me, Josh Lancaster, I'm from the UK, from Leeds, where I'm currently at right now. I've been traveling for the past 3 years, living the digital nomad lifestyle, and all of that is coming to an end. I've decided that I'm going to stop doing that, and I'll delve into why in a minute or so. But a little bit of backstory about myself, so you can understand where I've been. We're very good at school, fantastic at school, in fact. Got some great A levels, got some great GCSEs, and I've got a university degree in architectural technology, which a lot of you may not know. Well, throughout my school years, I was covered in acne, very, very bad cystic acne, and it absolutely destroyed me from a confidence point of view, from a social anxiety point of view. Absolutely destroyed me, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. So I found rugby and gym as my outlet, or somewhere where I could be myself. You know, I could be myself, and I just wrote some notes. So if I'm looking at my phone, that's why. It was just somewhere where I could be myself and not think about the acne, because I was busy doing other things, right? So I was in the gym playing rugby, and things were going really well from that standpoint. You know, I developed into a really good rugby player, where I captained my first team to a championship, I played at open age from 16 years old, which was possibly a little bit too young at the time. I got beat up and smashed all over the place. And yeah, the gym was progressing great as well. I got to university, got a first class honours in architectural technology. And then everything kind of came crushing down a little bit around the time of COVID, where I tore my bicep off the bone. I tore this bicep as well. This bicep needed surgery. And around that time as well, I got a severe illness, digestive related illness and mycotoxin related illness. I know the mycotoxin type thing has come to light recently from, you may know, I've heard of Chris Williamson from the Modern Wisdom podcast. He's been speaking about it a lot. And that was me. Yeah, I had the mycotoxins from very, very young age, and it impacted me severely. And we think that's probably where the acne come from as well. But the digestive problems came, and I lost 20 kilograms of muscle, literally 20 kilograms of muscle in about 6 months. And it was an awful time of my life. Stress levels were super, super high. My parents split around that time as well. And I was, lost a proper shell of the man that I'd turned into throughout my life. So I'd gone from the unconfident guy who was bullied in school, had acne, and then I'd worked myself up into this man who was strong and powerful and, played rugby and all of these things. And then it all just kind of like crashing down again. And it was during COVID and during that experience where I was kind of doing the architecture, and I was really good at architecture as well. I got offered an associate position, one below a director, after being in the company for 18 months at that point, before I handed in my notice to quit. Now, I handed in my notice to quit because I was looking at the people in front of me who were overweight, overworked, grey, overweight. And I was looking and thinking, is this the direction of the life where I want? Do I want this? And, I knew that my passion was in health and fitness and helping other people as well. So that's what I started to do as a side hustle. So I worked relentlessly for years, 3 years, doing my 9-to-5 architecture, coming home, developing my coaching as a side hustle, coaching people for very little money, for free in some instances. And my first client, Hal, I don't know if he'll watch this, but one of my best friends at the time, and still a very, very close friend now. We don't speak too often, but one of my close friends at the time, Hal, was my first client. He was with me for 4 years, and I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for Hal. So Hal, I love you, brother. Thank you so much. But got the coaching under to a point where it matched my architecture income. I quit architecture and started coaching full time. And then it was around that time as well where I quit drinking alcohol. Let's just say how it is, Josh. I had a problem when I was drinking alcohol, that I drank way too much. It was a way for me to unwind and relax, and because of the lack of confidence and the anxiety that I had in social situations when I was younger, the alcohol really let me relax in social situations. So I didn't have an off switch. So it was always like, I never could have one. It was always 20. And believe me, it was always 20. And I'd get to the end of the night, not having a clue what had gone on, not knowing where I was. And there were a Leeds and Reading Festival, where I can't remember getting to the festival, and it was like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'd gone to so many different concerts and things like that in my life, and done so many different birthdays and events that I can't even remember, because I was just blackout drunk and just getting way too drunk to try help alleviate the anxiety. But then that just led to more anxiety the next day, because you're waking up, you don't know what you've done, you've been blackout drunk. And I wasn't never aggressive. I was never I wasn't a bad drunk, but I just got too drunk. And then people started to be concerned and worried because I'd just float off. And it was at the Leeds Festival where I decided enough was enough. I upset people because I just went floating away, and you know, that's not the person that I wanted to be. So I decided enough was enough. And then from there, I kind of lost myself, and I lost my circle, my social circle as well. Not to blame to them, but I think I understood that a lot of the people that were in my life were possibly drinking partners rather than like close friends. And like I say, a lot of that's due to my own fault and my fault. I'm not, you know, saying it's anybody's fault other than myself. I'm taking absolute ownership from that. But I secluded myself after that point of being sober. And I decided that in my head at the time, it was a Leeds problem. So where I live, the problem wasn't me, it was Leeds, you know, and I went then traveling. I decided that Leeds is the problem and I need to go traveling to find a better social circle and a better location to live the rest of my life. So that's what I did. I went looking for the greener grass on the other side. And what I've noticed and what I've realised is that after travelling for 3 years and being even more secluded than what I was when I were in Leeds, because I've been going to different locations where the language barrier has obviously been there, because I've not always been to English-speaking countries, that every conversation that you have with somebody when you're travelling is transactional. They know that you're not going to be there for a long time. You know that you're not going to be there for a long time. So you're never actually building any real friendships. And you get to a point, and I'm not afraid of saying it, that I just got lonely. I just got really lonely. And it's taken me a long time to realise that Leeds was never the problem. It was how I viewed Leeds, which was the problem. And I've had the mindset of that how you see the world, or the world that you see, is a direct reflection of how you see it, if that makes sense. I don't know if I've articulated that properly, but the world can be however you want it to be. This is a better way of saying it. The world can be however you want it to be. It's just the way that you see it, right? And I was seeing the world at that time as a place that was the problem, but it was me that was the problem. I was secluding myself. I wasn't putting myself out there. I wasn't building relationships. So I went traveling, lost myself. I feel like really now that I'm finding myself again. My last trip, where I've just come back from Dubai for a month, where I'd come back from Cape Town, gone from Cape Town to Dubai to back to Leeds to home, where it really did hit home that over the past 3 years, it's been a time of a lot of alone time, a lot of loneliness. And the thing that I'm missing from my life and I've been missing for a long time is connection, community, relationships. And you don't get that by traveling around the world by yourself. And I was on a FaceTime with my mum in Dubai, and I'll be honest, I kind of like broke down and I was crying a little bit, and I was upset because, not that I think that the past 3 years of me traveling has been a waste, because I've definitely found myself during that time again. But it was almost a realization that I've still got a lot of work to do. You know, I went off exploring to think that I was going to find something magical on the other side, but what I needed to find was myself. So this is where we're at now. We're here. We are rebuilding. We're rebuilding my life, rebuilding my business, which I'll speak on as well. I'm rebuilding myself from a training and health and fitness standpoint. And now I am focusing a lot more on, from a life standpoint, I'm going to be stopping traveling, as I've mentioned. I'm going to be actively trying to seek a visa for the Costa del Sol in Spain, to be there long term. The plan was originally Cape Town, but because I love Cape Town. I've been there a lot of times in my life, and I've developed some closer friendships there than anywhere else in the world. But it's becoming pretty impossible to get a visa there, and I've just come to the realization that if it's that hard to get a visa for somewhere, it's probably not the right approach. And the people who were helping me get a visa there were potentially telling me to do things which were under the table, maybe illegal, shall we say, and I'm not looking to do that. So traveling is over, and I'm now looking to build a lot more connection and relationships with people. And the place in Spain, Malaga, Marbella, is a place where I know people there already, and I know that I'd be able to build a lot of connection there, which is something that's incredibly exciting to me. Actually, I'm so excited about this next phase of my journey. So from October to the end of June, I'm going to be looking to get a long-term rental in the Costa del Sol region of Spain, just to really find out whether it is somewhere where I want to be forever. Because if you don't understand that for 9 months of living somewhere, it's probably not the right place, right? So we're going to go there, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be 10x in my life. And what I mean by that is I've been reading a book recently called 10x is easier than 2x. And initially when you think about that, you'll think, it's just all about money. It's not about money. It rarely mentions the financial side of things. It's talk about wealth overall, and wealth and freedom, and wealth doesn't just mean money. Wealth is an abundance of things, and I'm going to be 10x in my life. And that means essentially that I'm going to be seeking love, peace, and joy, and looking at the gain from all my past experiences rather than the gap. So what I mean by that is, when we look at as past experiences and as life, oftentimes if you've gone from struggle and hardship, you look at it in a place of scarcity and a gap. Like that everything that's happened to you in the past has happened and it's been a negative experience, and you draw on it as a negative experience. And that's what I have been doing. Looking at it as a negative, whereas everything that you've had in your past and everything that you've had in your life, there's a gain to be had from it. There's a gain to look at everything in life. And if you take your life and your experiences and look at it as something that you've gained from it, then there's a lot of satisfaction and pleasure and peace that comes with that. Like my acne. If I didn't have my acne, literally, would I be here now? If I hadn't have lost 20 kilograms of muscle and have gone through that illness, would I have then travelled? Would I have built a successful online coaching business and be sitting here now? I don't think I would have. I'd still be in architecture, pursuing a job that I hated. So you got to look at your life, and it's easier said than done. That every hardship and everything that's happened, there's something to be gained from it. And that's a 10x mindset. A 2x mindset is looking at everything that's happened in your life as a negative. And a 2x mindset is harder to live than having a 10x mindset, because 2x in something requires a lot more work and a lot more struggle and juggling a lot more plates than what a 10x does. Because when you've got a 10x mindset, you focus on the things that matter. You focus on the things in your life that matter and forget and remove everything else. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be prioritizing a lot more rest, a lot more reading, a lot more downtime, and focusing a lot more on more things that I want rather than need. Want and need, two very different things. And I'm going to be focusing on things that I want. And the beauty of it is, when you focus on things that you want, nothing else matters. Someone can, why do you want that? Well, I just want it. And that book, I've never binge read a book but I've nearly completed it in like 3 days, and I'm going to reread it and reread it and reread it. So if you've never read it, 10x is easier than 2x. I do recommend it because I dare say that it's been life-changing for me. And that's where I'm at in my life right now. And that's where I'm heading. And I appreciate this video is 20 minutes. But again, I don't care because this is a different channel. This is me. This is my life. And if you want to be here, amazing. If you don't, that's absolutely fine as well. But let's move on to my business now. So built a very successful online coaching business, and it was branded as Built to Thrive. A lot of people who may be watching this will know in recent times I joined forces with a business partner, and I'm not going to go into too many details of it, but the business venture was called Tribe. And we're not currently pursuing that business. We launched and it went great from my perspective. We've got 5 clients. We opened for 30 places. And I think we're a little bit naive in thinking that a lot of our audience was a lot warmer than what they were. And a lot of our audience was cold, despite us both building 2 very successful online coaching hybrid businesses. But I was happy with 5, really, really happy. But the thing is, I think I'm not going to go into too many details because it's not my place to do so. But me and Lewis, my business partner, have left things on really, really good terms. He's just got some things that he needs to sort out personally, and that's exactly where we're going to leave it. Okay, so Tribe is no more. Tribe is not something that we're going to be speaking about. It's happened. People come. Things happen in life. And there's always something to be gained from it, right? I've gained a lot from that experience. And believe me, it was one of the most stressful things that has happened in recent times. And I lost a lot of energy during that split. But it was something that needed to happen because I couldn't continue going on the path that we were heading with the challenges that we were experiencing. So we decided to cut it, and this is where we're at right now. What's next? What's next from a business standpoint it's not, I wouldn't really necessarily call it a rebuild, it's just building. I've rebranded as Compound Co, and you can learn all about that on my business channel. But essentially, it's one-to-one coaching with me. It's one-to-one coaching with me, and the thing that I've gained and learned a lot from that experience is one really simple thing. A lot of things can happen in your life, in business, wherever, but if you're truly authentic to yourself and you are true to yourself and you present yourself as yourself on social media or wherever else you promote yourself, people will come for you and people will stay for you. So I was all caught up and thinking, oh, my clients, I've rebranded, I've taken through all this path of Tribe, and they're gonna hate me, they're gonna leave, and not one of them has said anything. They've all been really, really supportive, and that it takes me back to, people come for you and they stay for you. It's not the training plan, it's not the diet plan, it's not the brand, it's not the logo. People come for you and they stay for you because I am the brand. Compound Co is not the brand, right? I'm the brand. And it takes me back to the 10x, 2x book. I'm looking to 10x Compound Co. I'm looking to 10x my online coaching. I'm still working through what that looks like. I'm still reading. I'm still spending time in more of a creative mindset, which is going to allow me to think more. Because in my business, since I've started building it, or since I've built it from where it was to where it is now, I've been in the 2x mindset of being busy but not being productive, having a scattered work schedule, but because it's all laid out on Google Calendar, it feels productive. It's not. I've just been busy. I've been working 2x. So now things are going to get better, things are going to be more scheduled, and I'm going to be 10xing. And that's where we're at from a business standpoint. And then the body. So, been hybrid training now for like 5 years. I absolutely love it. But in recent times, I've broken myself. I did a push-pull-run challenge, which is like a hybrid challenge, what I made for myself, where I lifted a 500 kilogram powerlifting total and run a sub 25k all in the same hour. And I've run a 18 5k, a 38 24 10k, deadlifted 220 kilograms, back squat 170, all at a body weight of like 82 kilograms. But it was during that push-pull-run challenge last year, and then working on a challenge of a 500-pound deadlift, which is 226 kilograms there or thereabouts, and running a sub 5-minute mile, where my body broke. I developed a sports hernia, an adductor strain, and posterior tendon tibinitis. Posterior tibial tendonitis, PTT. And I've been broke for around 8 months in terms of being able to train at my fullest capacity. And I've fallen out of love with training a lot. And I'm coming out the other side of that now, which is great. I've been messed around with a few physios and a few PTs who have suggested that they can help me with these injuries. But when push comes to shove, what they've provided to me has not been specific to me. It's not been for me. It's been built for somebody else. And that's been disappointing, being a coach myself who really provides bespoke programming and excellent communication and all of these things. And to not have that provided to me has really been a bit disappointing. But we gain from these experiences, right? And my most recent online physio, Luke, has been absolutely fantastic. And we got to a point now after 12 weeks where I'm comfortable with progressing the next phases of my rehab myself. So we're rebuilding. I'm going to be doing my 5th run walk today. And after running so much, 4 times a week, running like I was running, to be doing a minute on, a minute off for 14 times feels crazy. But I'm so incredibly blessed and grateful that I'm able to run, that I'm able to use my legs, because let's face it, there'll be a lot of people in life that can't use their legs who would love to be able to just have legs rather than run. So the rebuild from a body standpoint is on. The 505 challenge is something that is going to get boxed off in the next 12 months. And I'm going to take you all on that journey. So this is coming up to 30 minutes. I wonder who will watch or listen to me ramble for 30 minutes. But as I've said, it's not something that I'm particularly fussed about, because this is something that I want to do. And this channel for me is going to be something almost like therapy, where it's not always just going to be me sat down here talking through this. It's going to be vlogs. I'm going to be running you through my training, my week, behind the scenes of me building the business. So it's not just going to be this. But I thought that for the first one, letting you into my life and letting you learn a little bit about me, business, life, body, where things have been, where things are heading. And just rest assured, I've got a big on smile on my face of where things are heading, because I'm just so excited about it. I'm going to take you along the way, you on this journey with me. And if you want to be here, amazing. Come for the ride. I'll speak with you soon.